I tell you what, lockdown is really getting my creative juices going, and I have to say, I think I've just thought of a fantastic idea for a video. The growth of the channel, I think, was mainly due to my weekly championship score predictions that I'd always do on a Friday at 4 o'clock. And funny enough, I'll upload this at Friday at 4 o'clock, so what you should be seeing is me predicting match day 40, I think, by now, of the championship. Obviously, we've not got football as it stands, but what I thought we would do today, why don't we look back at all 37 of those sale predictions. 444 games of championship football have been played this season. So if I were to get all 444 games spot on and correct, what would the table actually look like, and what would it compare to the real life table? That is what we're going to do in today's videos. So how this will work, on the left hand side of the screen, I'm going to show you my crafted table. I'm going to show you the positions, the points won, and the goal difference as well, just so you can have an idea of what kind of season your club has had. And on the right hand side, I'm obviously going to say what their real position is. So I hope you take to this video very well. It's a real pain to look back at 37 different predictions, but wow, making the table, I was dying with laughter for how different it was compared to the real life table. If you know any other championship YouTuber that does this as well, weekly championship score predictions, encourage them to do this video, because I tell you what, I think they'll humour themselves of what their table would look like as well. But as always, if you like what you see, you want to see more championship content, please make sure you do give this video a like. It is tremendously appreciated. Please subscribe if you haven't done, or if you're new around here. All of that would really make my day. And please share this video and share this channel to as many people as you like. All of that would really make my day. Without any further ado, here's the blank table on the left hand side. Let's start revealing what my championship table would look like if all of my 444 score predictions came true. So we'll start off with 24th place. Now, as you can see, in terms of the points, they're quite different from the ones we've got in real life. As you can see, 24th place after 37 games only have 18 points. And as you can see with the top two, 83 and 82 points. I mean, if you look at the current table right now, Leeds have only managed to crack 71 points at first place. So you can tell this table is going to be a little bit different compared to what it is in real life. So let's start with 24th place at the moment. Last place in this table, according to my predictions, is Wigan Athletic with 18 points. Now obviously this is not their real life position. They're currently 20th at the moment with 41 points. What I am most wrong about is the amount of points they've got. They've got way more points than 18. I definitely should have backed them for more games. There was a load of games which I felt was really harsh on them on. I remember when Wigan played against Middlesbrough, and I was really harsh on Wigan's chances, on them conceding very late goals and thinking they're going to lose all chances of gaining a point. I barely got them to win at all. I think, if I could think back, I think I only got them to win once or twice, which is absolutely mind-blowing considering they've had 10 wins this season, Wigan. So yeah, it's a bit of a mare to start off with, but at least they're in or around that position of the table, unlike a few other teams will reveal soon. So 23rd place. Now I'm not ready to reveal this, but I'm going to have to. With 28 points, Birmingham. Yes, don't ask me why. And honestly, I was looking back at this and it shocked me that it took till match day 13 for me to actually predict Birmingham to win a game. I had no faith with Birmingham at the start of the season. Thankfully, as the season went on, I was starting to back them with a few more wins, but even then, only 28 points. I'm just thinking back at myself, what am I thinking? They've got 47 points, almost 20 points more than what I predicted them to have. I think I predicted them to have 3 wins all season. Absolutely shocking prediction on my part. Let's just move on quickly. Now, 22nd place, that is Luton Town with 29 points. So only just doing better than Birmingham, but only by 1 point. They got 29 points. A little bit inaccurate in terms of their points total. They've got 35 points as they stand. However, it's a little bit close. I'm only 6 points worse off in terms of what their current points total are. So I've not really got Luton all that wrong, but to be honest with the new boys in Luton, they are probably one of the more predictable sides. Everyone thought that they were going to be in the lower end of the championship table. Only one position wrong with them as well. Of course, they're 23rd, and I've got them as 22nd in this. So yeah, Luton, okay, I can make do with Luton. Now we get to 21st. Oh gosh, here we go again. Reading. That's right, I predicted Reading, according to my 37 predictions, that Reading are 21st. Don't ask me why, you're going to have to ask my past self for this one. They've got 48 points, so definitely an inaccurate points total. I predicted to have 32, so that's 16 points off. Jesus. 21st place, of course, 7 places off their current 14th place in the table. Yes, this one's another mare, and we're going to see a few other odd teams coming up. So let's go straight away to 20th, which is Queen's Park Rangers. Now, Queen's Park Rangers are exactly 1 place above Reading in the real life table, and the same with my table as well, but both of these teams are 7 places too low. So that's a bit of a mare on my part. 35 points, 15 points worse off in terms of real life predictions as well. Should have predicted Queen's Park Rangers to have 5 more wins, man. And yeah, I don't know why with Queen's Park Rangers. I think maybe I was really conscious about their poor defensive record, and then that's why I probably did not get them to win as much. But did I not consider the firepower they had up front with Jordan Hugo and Naki Wells? I must have not had high hopes for them, but boy, aren't I wrong there. 20th place for Queen's Park Rangers, Jesus. 19th place in the table is Middlesbrough, and this is one I got exactly right. Now, this one I've also got pretty close in the points total as well. I predicted them to have 36 points, they're on 41 points as it stands. So only 5 points off, so I'm not really far off with Middlesbrough, and I actually would really take that. I've matched their position, I've managed to only get a little bit worse off in terms of their points. I'll take that. I say that was a success. 18th place for me is Stoke. Now, I was so close with Stoke because they're 17th place right now, but only on goal difference. So I'm technically right, even though I'm only 1 place off. 39 points, yeah, that's only 3 points worse off of what they got now. So this is actually the closest I got for getting the correct number of points for a team. Pretty happy with that one once again. Now, 17th place, now prepare to laugh at me, I've got Millwall. Needless to say, I messed this one up big time. Did not back them, especially at the start of the season. Not even with Gary Rowett, I didn't back them. Let's just move on. 16th place, according to my predictions, is Huddersfield Town. Now, once again, I'm so close because Huddersfield are 18th place. I'm only 1 point off to get their actual correct points tally as well, though. I predicted to have 43 points. They're actually only 1 point worse off in terms of real life. So I overestimated them a little bit, but to be honest, not that much. And actually, only being 2 places off, I'll take that. That's a good one. We've sandwiched the worst prediction out of this whole entire list with 2 pretty good ones. So I'll take that. 15th place. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I not saying Barnsley yet? They're there. Barnsley are 15th place. Now, I can explain what was going on with that. Barnsley, for me, have been the default team that I go to. If one team's not going to have an off day, or one team's not going to give it because it's Barnsley and their position in the table, I'd say they keep winning. And I think I lived up to the height of Gerolstruber just a little bit too much. Heck, I predicted them to have 43 points, and they are currently on 34. 9 points too much. I should have definitely not lived up to the height of Gerolstruber. Even though Barnsley did look so much better under him, I think I was just predicting, come on, they can cause an upset every single week. But nah, it just doesn't work like that. Even though the championship is so unpredictable, you just can't predict that. 14th place on the list for me is Charlton. Now, Charlton are 22nd. Another pretty disappointing prediction. 8 places off with Charlton. And to be honest, I've actually only predicted to have 4 points better than they actually have. They're actually only 4 points worse off in terms of real life with 39 points. I predicted them to have 43 points. So to be honest, in terms of how I think they do, it's actually not that bad. It's because I predicted everyone else to do significantly worse, which is why Charlton are so high up. So yeah, that was the only mistake on my part. I'm pretty happy with how close I managed to get with Charlton matching their entire season. 13th place for me is Hull City. I predicted them to have 44 points at match day 37. They've only got 41 points, so only 3 points worse off again. Position-wise, it's a little bit bad as well. 8 places off with them as well, as long as Charlton. Although only 3 points off, so I'm pretty close to how I anticipated their season with 37 predictions in. Once again, my mistake was making everyone do a lot worse, so that's the only mistake there. But I'm pretty happy with how close I managed to match my predictions to Hull's actual season. Now, 12th place is Derby, and this is another one I got spot on. And to be honest, I didn't even know that I got teams spot on in terms of all 37 games being played. I have to say, that's probably quite difficult to do, so I'm taking full pride of getting complete correct predictions. I predicted them to have 45 points. They're on 51 points, so they're 6 points worse off of what I thought they would do. I should have given them 2 more wins, but to To be fair, 12th place and 12th place in real life. Bang on, so I'd take that. 11th place for me is Cardiff with 46 points. Now 11th place in real life is a former Welsh team in Swansea. Cardiff in real life are actually 8 points better off in terms of what I predicted them. For me, I thought Cardiff were going to be a little bit of an inconsistent side. Of course, they drew the most games, which I do like to brag on about. I should have given them the odd win now and again. Cardiff have a good squad. They were in the Premier League last year. Not great, but not terrible prediction for me, in my opinion. Could have been better, but yeah, it's not one of my worst, let me tell you. Now, 10th place, according to my predictions, is Sheffield Wednesday with 47 points. Well, I'm only 1 point off in terms of the points total because they're on 48 points right now. But position-wise, I'm 5 places off. Once again, not one of my worst predictions. I think with Sheffield Wednesday, I definitely lived up to the hype of Gary Monk. And obviously, Sheffield Wednesday, a couple of times in my predictions, were really competing with the top teams in terms of getting to the playoffs. But then I naturally predicted them to have a bit of a slump, and that's exactly what Sheffield Wednesday had as well. So I'm pretty proud of actually how I managed to predict the continuity of Sheffield Wednesday's season. But overall, not quite right, but pretty close. Now, 9th place of my predicted table apparently is Preston North End. Oh dear. I predicted Preston to have 51 points and they are on 56 points. So to be honest, points wise, I'm not that far off, only 5 points worse off in terms of what Preston have actually managed to achieve. Position wise though, they're 3 places better in the playoffs. If you compare the points total with the other sides of the playoffs, as you can see from the table already, I definitely should have had Preston a lot higher and competing more. I just wasn't confident with their squad depth. I wasn't confident that they were going to sustain their unbelievable start they had to the season. And I have to say, to be fair, Alex Neil at Preston have proved me wrong quite a lot of the time. So fair play, Preston, you proved me wrong there. 8th place in my predicted list is Blackburn Rovers. Once again, so close. I predicted Blackburn to have 52 points. They have 53 points. So once again, so close to actually crafting the 37 games absolutely correctly for Blackburn Rovers. I should have given them an extra draw, and that would have matched Blackburn's season entirely. 2 places off as well. Pretty happy with this one, I'd say. 7th place, Bristol City. 7th place in real life, Bristol City. Once again, 3 correct predictions in terms of my 444 predicted games, so I'm quite surprised about that, to be honest with you. I predicted Bristol City to have 58 points. They've got 55 points as they stand, so they're only 3 points worse off in terms of what I originally predicted them to have. So to be honest, not really far off at all. I'm quite happy with Bristol City because Bristol City are quite a difficult side to predict. They go on a winning streak, losing streak, etc. So it's quite difficult to follow a good tangent for Bristol City, but I'm pretty happy for how I managed to craft their season. I pretty much got their season spot on. So now the top 6. Now, I got a pretty different top 6 in terms of the real life top 6, let me tell you. What was really different in terms of the tables from real life were the relegation and the promotion. That was literally the only thing that was different. So it just goes to show you can't really predict the championship. But apparently 6th place, according to my championship predictions, is Swansea. Now I'm going to put that down to Swansea's incredible start. There was honestly moments for when I saw Swansea play in the beginning of the season that I thought that they were going to be the team to run away with the league. And I think I still had that in the back of my mind, saying that Swansea could back up, but injuries just really ruined it for them. And then they just slowed down and then they've just plummeted. They're now down to 11, which with the start they've got, you can't argue that's a little bit disappointing. I predicted them to finish 6th, which is a little bit wrong. I predicted them to have 60 points and they currently have 53. So actually only 7 points off, so which is actually not that bad. But obviously position-wise, I'm a little bit wrong with that. 5 positions wrong, so not a great prediction on my part. 5th place in real life is Nottingham Forest, and 5th place in my predictions is also Nottingham Forest. That's 4 correct predictions, which I'm actually quite proud of myself for, actually. Apparently, according to my predictions, Nottingham Forest have picked up 65 points. Now, if that was the case, Nottingham Forest will be 3rd right now in the real life championship. So, points-wise, I'm a little bit wrong. 5 points worse off than my actual original predictions. And you're going to see a trend that I've overestimated the rest of these sides because every championship side this season has just been dropping needless points. Now, 4th place, shock of the day, Leeds United, 75 points, which is actually 4 points better than what they actually have in the moment. But even with that, they're only 4th place in my predictions. Now, my reasoning for this is I do remember looking back at when Marcelo Bielsa had the burnout from last year, and they did have a few injuries to deal with as well, and of course Patrick Bamford not delivering at times. I think that is what I ultimately based it down to, and I probably overestimated the other three teams above them, which is probably the biggest mistake I made. But of course with Leeds, not really too far off with actually what they managed to achieve. As I said, only 4 points better off. But position-wise, in terms of the table, that is a very poor prediction on my part. So now let's move on to the top three. Third place, according to my predictions, is Brentford. Now, they're only one place lower in real life, so in fact, I've not really got Brentford all that wrong. I predicted them to have 79 points, which is a staggering 19 more points than they actually have, and that is my biggest mistake. 19 points more than what they got in real life. What am I thinking? I mean, I think it's a bit similar to Swansea. I think I was a little bit overhyped of what they were showing. I remember games like when they beat Luton 7-0 and all of that, and I thought, yes, they're going to be a real attractive team to watch, and they're going to score plenty of goals and get plenty of points. But that just didn't happen. A couple of times they've been a bit inconsistent, and I should have occasionally thrown the upset. Obviously, the top two is West Brom and Fulham, and I've actually got in that order. In second place, I've got West Brom, and first place, I've got Fulham. Not great, isn't it? But I have got another team spot on. I've actually got 5 positions spot on. So West Brom finished in second. They're currently second. Points-wise, though, I predicted them to have 82 points. 12 points more from what they've got. Not great for me. And as with Fulham, I predicted them to have 83 points, a staggering 19 more points, just like Brentford. Once again, just a really poor prediction, but position-wise it's quite close, so it's not all bad. But there you have it, guys. In the left-hand side of the screen right now, that is what the championship table would look like after 37 games if all 444 of my predictions came true. On the right-hand side right now is what the current championship table looks like. Obviously, we've got the 5 correct predictions. Points-wise, some were close, some were just completely wrong, which is to be expected. Some teams are going to be closer than others. Another part of the video I'm actually going to add on to what I originally planned. Of course, my original championship predictions all the way back in July. How much am I contradicting to my actual predictions? So obviously in the left hand side of the screen right now is what my original predictions were in the championship when I made my second ever YouTube video all the way back in July. And in terms of getting teams in the right position, none are correct. A couple were close. Sheffield Wednesday was close, Fulham was pretty close, Leeds was very close as well. So a couple of teams were close, but with my original prediction, my original championship table and what I predicted throughout the time, I heavily contradicted to what I thought all the way back in July. But that's natural. You're always going to change your mind when the season goes. But I think that wraps it up for what I want to cover in today's video. Did you guys enjoy this video? This video took me a long time to plan. If you did, make sure you give this video a like. It's tremendously appreciated. If you like this video, please subscribe if you haven't done, or if you're new around here, or that would really make my day. And if you know any other championship YouTuber that does weekly championship predictions, tell them to do this video and see what kind of table they've made. What table have they calculated with all 444 predictions? I'll be very interested to see their table as well. But I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care.